Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Duke. What's up? The Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this: you never know when it's going to hit. So I had the absolute pleasure of attending my 35-year junior high reunion. Not high school, not college, junior high reunion. And it's even better than that because it's not even just junior high. It's not like 8th grade. It's like these are people that I grew up with. These are people who we went trick-or-treating together and we rode dirt bikes together and played sports together. I mean, these are people that I literally grew up with, went to their houses, they came to my house with, and it just an amazing experience. As I knew this was happening, I wanted to make sure that I found a way, and if I was in town, I was going to make sure that I was able to get there. And it would come down to, we had went out with a group of friends the night before, some of them who were going to be at this reunion, and then the reunion was on Saturday night. And I was torn because my kids start school on Monday, and I'm like, y'all listen to me, I'm a family man. So I'm not really, jamming on wanting to leave my kids, again, 2 nights in a row to go see these people, but yet these are people I grew up with, and I just felt there was something in me that just said, man, you got to go. Even if it's for an hour, 2 hours, you just got to go. And it would be exactly what it is that I did. And when I walked in, got to talk to a few people and talked to a buddy that he really, my recollection is that he was really one of the first friends that I had when I moved here in the 2nd grade. And we got to talking, and he brought up victory stacking. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, and I'm going to reiterate it here today, but he brought up victory stacking, and he said it was perfect, man. It came at the right time in my life because I was going through a really hard time. And he said it's not like it was life-saving, but it was changing. It came at the right time, and it was life-changing. It helped him to shift his thoughts and his emotions and his feelings and start focusing on the victories he was having instead of the defeats and the challenges that he was going through. And it was really cool as he shared this. Here we are all these years later. We're Facebook friends, and now we're having a conversation. He's sharing it. And as he's sharing it, the guy next to us, another guy who we grew up together, he's going, man, I'm not sure if I'm doing this any justice. And he repeats it back. And I'm sitting here my heart is just absolutely bursting. I mean, folks, this is, if you listen to me at all, you know that I come on here and I'm hoping that, it just has to affect one person, make one shift. And equally important is if you're just willing to take an action. If you're willing to listen for 5 to 10 minutes, take 5 minutes afterwards, write down the action step that you're going to take and the focus that you're going to take, or whatever assignment I give you, it could be life-changing. Maybe not life-saving, but it could be life-changing. It could be transformational. It can put you on a different path if you're willing to do it. And so as he's sharing victory stacking, and I'm sitting here, heart just full of joy, so happy that I could be a part of helping him, even though I haven't talked to him for 35 years, I could still be a part of his life all these years later. And it was so cool to be able to just sit and listen and have him explaining it to someone else. So I share this with you today because the bottom line is that you never know when it's going to hit. You never know when something you think, say, or do today could affect the life of 1, 100, 1,000 people tomorrow. You never know, which is why we want to act in accordance to our greatest values and go out and be the best version of who we can be every single day because 1, it benefits you. 2, it benefits the people that you love the most. 3, it benefits the people who are around you. See, everybody wins when you show up as the best version of you every single day. But that means finding what that version even looks like. That means actually open to the possibility that there is a way that you are living right now that's good, but there's also another step that could be even better. And this is not grass is greener on the other side. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is the knowingness that you know right now there is one thing that you could be doing, should be doing in your life, in your health, in your relationships, in your business. You know right now you could be doing that would completely shift your life, but you're not doing it. And what would happen? What would happen if you just said today, I'm going to show up as the person who accomplishes that thing? I'm going to take more action. I'm going to speak up more. I'm going to start victory stacking. I'm going to start focusing on the positive things that are happening in my lfe. This isn't looking at the garden and saying there are no weeds, there are no weeds. This is looking at the garden and saying I'm going to pull the fucking weeds. I'm going to stop letting the weeds run my life, and I'm going to take bigger action today. And then you get up and you do it again tomorrow, and you get up and you do it again the next day. For many of you listening, you might have kids. This benefits your children when you show up as the absolute best version of who you are. And this doesn't mean that you don't have shitty days. And it doesn't mean that life doesn't get tough. What it does mean is that when you wake up in the morning, you decide, you make a conscious decision that today's a great day. I'm going to show up as the best version of me today. And here's what that looks like. I'm going to make sure that if I have children, I'm going to make sure I love and hug and kiss them and let them know how much they're loved and appreciated. If I have a spouse, I'm going to make sure she knows how much she's loved, honored, and appreciated. I'm going to make sure if I have a team or people who are working with and I have employees, I'm going to make sure that they know that they're appreciated. I'm going to compliment them for good work that's been done. I'm going to do the same thing with clients or patients. I'm going to make sure that they know, like, I'm thankful to be able to take care of you. I'm just going to show up as this person who's full of gratitude today. Like, that's what I'm going to do today. And then maybe tomorrow I'm going to show up a person who just takes massive action. I'm tired of screwing around. I'm going to take massive action today. So I'm going to get up 15 minutes earlier. I'm going to go for a walk because I know if I go for a walk, it's going to help me day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month after month to lose the weight that I want to lose, which is going to actually help my health, which is going to help me to be a better daddy, which is going to help me to have more connection with my kid, and it's going to help me to lead them by example. You start to become that version because there is, in everything that you do, it has an impact on somebody. Everything. And when you start to realize that, you start to realize that, wow, the power of a podcast that could affect somebody. I had a couple other people tell me the same thing, that they listen to my podcast. And another guy's like, hey, isn't it Commit and Go, right? It's Commit and Go. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. These are people that I haven't talked to for 35 years, and they're listening. God bless you all who are listening. You never know how far-reaching something you think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. It's a saying I've heard in chiropractic for years and years and years and years. I'm sharing it with you here today in the hopes that you realize there is something great within you that needs to come out. And the only way it can come out is if you're willing to start taking massive action to create greater success in your life. See, greater. I already know you've been successful. I already know you've done great things. I know there's more inside of you. And as Wayne Dyer once said, don't die with your music left inside of you. Take time right now just to take a look at your life and say, where in my life is that one thing Troy's talking about? That one thing that I know I could be doing, should be doing, but I'm not doing. But if I did it, it would move the needle in every area of my life. And you write it down and you go do that thing today. You just take off and do that thing today, right now. You don't wait, you don't think about it, you just do it. And then part 2 of this becomes a review of the victory stack. Look, I once read that there are 45,000 negative thoughts that go through our minds every single day. That's a lot, folks. So it's hard. It's already a battle. When you wake up, it's already starting. I'm so tired. That's a negative thought. I don't feel like getting out of bed. That's a negative thought. Oh, God, I don't want to go to work today. That's a negative thought. You're having them the instant you wake up. So to start to victory stack says, I'm going to start to find victories. And if you know me well enough, you know I don't say you have big victories or small victories. I say you have victories. That's it, period. End of story. And so you wake up in the morning, and maybe you wake up in the morning and you get up 5 minutes earlier. Like, that's a victory if you're a person who doesn't like getting up early. And then all of a sudden, maybe you do go for a walk, or maybe you do 10 push-ups, or maybe you do 10 air squats, or you do something like that, that all of a sudden you go, wow, I've never done 10 push-ups in the morning. That's a victory stack. And you start to stack these victories throughout the day. You add that to your stack. And you imagine this is just like a layer of cards that you keep putting on top of each other through the course of an entire day. If you want to, you could do this. Grab some note cards, and every time you have a victory, write on it. And then put the note card in your pocket, and put another one in your pocket, and put another one in your pocket. And then tonight when you get home, sit down and lay all the cards in front of you so that you can see the victories that you had today. Hopefully there's hundreds of them. You might only have 5. You might only have 20. You might have only 30. But to be able to sit down and say, these are the victories that created my day. And tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to up my game and I'm going to have even more victories. See, you got this, but what happens is that we get so drowned out by the negativity that we forget to prioritize the things that matter, the things that are going to truly move the needle in our lives. But if we start to identify the victories, we start to create momentum. When you start to create momentum, you start to get your swagger back. And when you get your swagger back, anything is possible. No one is stopping you. It's when you lose your mojo, it's when you lose the swagger that you start to slow down. And the victory stack disassembles and you start focusing on the negativity. Do this today. You have 2 simple assignments. What's one thing that I need to be doing, that I know I should be doing, that I haven't been doing, that I know would change my life? What is that one thing? And I'm going to go do it right away. And I'm going to victory stack today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab a piece of paper, write them all down. I'm going to grab note cards, write them on the note cards. Do it today. Take yourself through one day of victory stacking and see how good it feels to win your day. That's all I've got for you here today. Hey, Chris, thanks, brother. I love you. It was great to see you. Folks, have an absolutely fantastic start to your week. And if you haven't already, head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher, and make sure that you rate, review, and or subscribe to this podcast. And always shoot me an email, Dr. Troy, DrTroy, @commitandgo.com. I'd love to hear from you. Love to have the conversation. Love to have the communication. Man, it's feedback that fuels my fire. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening. I am Dr. Troy Duke. This has been Commit and Go. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.